This is cause number 24 CCCR 1222, case established state of Texas versus Felicia Marie Wyndham. And Miss Wyndham
Wyndham?
is Wyndham.
Yes.
Wyndham. Miss Wyndham, how are you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm blessed as well.
That's good.
Thanks for asking. Now, Miss Wyndham, I have okay. My docket sheet states that you are charged with the Class A misdemeanor offensive assault, family violence. And Mr. Adams states that you pleaded not guilty and you would like to have a trial. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Could you hand this document to Ms. Wyndham? Ms. Wyndham, do you recognize that document?
It's been a little while. I can't see without my glasses.
This is second page. Okay. Miss Wyndham,
Yes, sir.
showing the bailiff is showing your document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize that document? Just show where her name is and her income down there and her expenses. Well, is everything on that document still true and correct today? With your income? Okay,
The income is, yeah.
okay, now, Ms. Wyndham, the court has found that you're indigent based on the finding of indigency. Who's next? No, let's see. Okay, you will be appointed an attorney.
It was appointed to me.
He was appointed for this. How could this get like this? Oh, for the plea. John Macy is gonna be appointed to represent you in this case. Okay? He will be given information to contact you.
John Macy?
Yes, Attorney John Macy. He's gonna be given information to contact you.
Excuse me. I thought,
No, he was only appointed, you're talking about Mr. Adams?
yeah.
Was a peer review, he was only appointed for if you were entering a plea. Since you're not entering a plea, we go to our regular appointment list. And so John Macy will be appointed to represent you. Okay? He's going to be given information to contact you. You will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you can follow the bailiff into the back. Okay, please stand next to the bailiff.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next person is Aaron Jernigan. Adjourning, would you please stand before the bench? This is cause number M 327-588. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Aaron M. Jernigan. Mr. Jernigan, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Jernigan?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Jernigan, you were appointed, Mr. Adams to represent you, in this case, on our, what we call our jail run docket. Mr. Adams has informed the court that you would like to have a trial, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, do we have an affidavit of indigence? Just hold on, Mr. Jernigan, they're gonna get the affidavit of indigence. He doesn't have one? Okay, now, Mr. Jernigan, you have a right to have an attorney. I need it.
Clipboard,
Yeah, we need a clipboard.
judge's explanation.
Actually, I have this.
I have a judge's explanation right now. Before you move in. Is
Yes,
that the only thing, Judge?
you may need it, yeah, just because there's an affidavit of indigence on this one. If he needs that. Mr. Jernigan, the prosecutor is handing you a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit, that's titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. I'm going to go over this document with you. This document states that as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you, well, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Number three, you may represent yourself. That is, you may waive your right to an attorney to represent yourself. Now, if you want an attorney to represent you, you have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to hire an attorney. If you want an attorney but do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you, but you must first fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. The questionnaire is a document on that clipboard that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You have to fill out the first page, the top portion that says defendant oath, and the middle portion that says unsworn declaration. Now, if you want an attorney, if you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, you may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you first sign a written waiver of your right to have an attorney to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you should be aware that there are dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in the worst outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. Now, if you choose to represent yourself, you may change your mind and request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. At the bottom of that document, there are 5 lines to the right. To your left. The first line states that you want your case reset to hire your own attorney. If that's your choice, you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. If you have already hired an attorney to represent you, you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you would like to request a court-appointed attorney, you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If you have already been appointed a court-appointed attorney to represent you, you'll put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you would like to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, Then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines, then you will sign your name on the line that is titled defendant, and you will date it today's date, defendant, December 5th of 2024. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can go ahead and make your choice.
Okay, so I guess my attorney will be the guy that came to see me last night.
No, it will be, we have a list that we have to go down the list, and whoever's next on the list will be appointed. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you're gonna request a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's, you're gonna put your initials on line number 3. And now we're gonna have to, is that clipboard? Okay, he's gonna have to take a seat and fill out that clipboard, fill out that, financial questionnaire. All right, next person is gonna be Darius Derry. Darius Derry. Good morning.
You said 21?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Are you gonna stand in front? Jefferson County Court of Law. Now, Mr. Adams, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Okay, you too, and thank y'all.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye.
It'll be tax and retired, yes, ma'am.
Okay. The court is in session in 2 cases. There are cause numbers 24-CCCR, 2664, and cause number 24-CCCR, 2821. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Darius C. Derry. Mr. Derry, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Derry, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Derry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Derry, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Derry? Doing okay? Mr. Derry, you're representing your case, or your cases by your attorney, Attorney Marvin Provo, Attorney Provo. How are you doing? And Ms. Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Derry's cases?
We do, yeah.
State is represented in these cases by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Derry, in cause number 24-CCCR 2664, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Darius C. Derry, on or about September 18th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. Derry, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Derry, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily? Freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay, so now, Mr. Derry, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Pre-Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials DD on the line next to a box that's checked no injury, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document. And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box says check states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Second box says check states that you're waiving your right to an appeal which means you're giving up your right to appeal. You understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Derrick, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that Ms. Provo went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Derrick, are you a citizen of the United States?
Sir.
State
Okay.
offer states one.
Any objections?
No, okay.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you have advised and counsel Mr. Derrick. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, you-
And Mr. Derrick, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Derrick, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 21 days in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 21 days to tax and retired court costs, and this is going to run concurrent with the companion case.
Mr. Derrick, the state is offering that you serve 21 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 21 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid off the court costs. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Derrick, do you understand the state's offer? Do you? And also, Mr. Derrick, this case will run concurrent with the companion case, clause number 24 CCCR 2821. Now, Mr. Derrick, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes, sir.
Mr. Derrick, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Derrick, we'll move on to your next case. Your next case is cause number 24 CCCR 2821. And in this case, I have before me an information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Derrick, it alleges that you, Derrick C. Derrick, on or about September 17 of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Mr. Derrick, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Derrick, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, and no contest? And are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Derrick, I also have before me a document on my computer that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? You recognize this document? And on page 2 of this same document, there are two initials, DD, on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contingent. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes,
On the third page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
yes,
And I have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Derrick, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Ms. Provo went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Jefferson states one.
No objection.
No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Derry, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Derry, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation? Or has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Derry, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is the 21 days time served for cause sex retired. This case is to run concurrent with the previous case.
Mr. Derry, the state is offering that you serve 21 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 21 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you're given credit for the time that you've already served. This case, well, the court costs in this case will be taxed and retired, which means you won't have to pay it. And because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid off, therefore the court cost is taxed and retired. This case will also run concurrent with the companion case clause number 24 CCCR 2664. Mr. Derry, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
sir.
Mr. Derry, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Derry, please stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you will be free to follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day. Okay, Ms. Provo, you excuse me, have a blessed day. Robert. Yeah, let's do Robert Tunnel. Well, let me
has his
go
foot
back and
right
do
here,
Mr.
Judge.
Journey. Mr. Journey, can you come back on, huh? Oh, he didn't do the unsworn declaration. He was supposed to, Miss, Haley.
Yes, Judge.
He didn't say, he didn't fill that.
He needs to do this. Right here. I don't get what it is.
This one. This was for Perez. We need to shred.
Who's that, Judge?
Yeah, this was for Perez. We need to shred this. You finished with it, Mr. Jernigan?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Mr. Jernigan, I have before me 2 documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line of title defendant?
Yes, sir.
Or these your initials on the line state you'd like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jernigan, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jernigan, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Jennifer DeLodge. Attorney DeLodge will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact her. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day. Okay, you stand up. We have Mr. Tunnel next.
Almost Friday.
Jefferson County Court, Alert number 2 is back in session. Court is in session. And calls number 23 CCCR 2134. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Robert Tunnel. Mr. Tunnel, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tunnel, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Tunnel, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth after you are? Mr. Tunnel, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Tunnel?
All right, sir.
That's good. Mr. Tunnel, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Lori Perazo. Attorney Perazo, how are you doing? And Ms. Perazo, do you waive a record in Mr. Tunnel's case? Mr. Tunnel, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Robert Tunnel, on or about August 4th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Tunnel, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Tunnel, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charge? That's what no contest means.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Tunnel, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, RT on the line next to the box is checked, no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant.
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document.
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line? It's titled defendant. At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Tuttle, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney Razzo go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Tunnel, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer states one.
Any objection? No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Perazzo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Tunnel. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Tunnel, your attorney, Ms. Perazzo has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full effective and competent representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tunnel, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred probation, fines to be waived with $500 restitution to Quality Mat Company, 40 hours community service, and this cause will run concurrent with the felony cause.
Ms. Perazzo, were you appointed in this case?
Yes, sir.
What is it, court cost? Okay. Mr. Tuttle,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. You will be required to pay court costs of $277. You will be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250, and you will be required to pay restitution in the amount of $500 to Quality Mat Company. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $177 a month. Will you be able to pay the $177 each month?
Your Honor, I don't mean to interrupt, but if he's already paying probation fees for the felony. will-
Oh, he's paying probation. Oh, I didn't know he was.
Well, I got
Oh.
$28,000 in restitution already.
Okay, hold on a minute.
But they're gonna take that.
Right. Let me do this here. That's gonna be, I have to reduce. Let me see, that's, no. Only thing I'm gonna do is this here. Hold on, let me see this here. If we can pay this, because that's gonna reduce that by. Oh, that's right. He won't have to pay that at all. So that'll come down. Okay. Okay, because you're already paying probation fees in a felony case, you will not be required to pay the probation fee and the urinalysis fee in this case. So your monthly installments, instead of being $177 a month, you'll be required to pay $95 a month. Will you be able to pay the $95 each month?
Yeah.
Okay. You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of probation. And this case is running concurrent with cause number 23 DCCR 2049. Right. Now, Mr. Tunnel, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tunnel, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. And Mr. Tunnel, if you successfully complete this probation, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. And you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because she's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Tunnel, you gotta stand next to our bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day. If you do not have anything else on you end, you should be getting out of jail today. Okay,
And Your Honor, I think there was one more case.
you have
Quintina,
Quintina Gilmore.
but she has a pending felony MTRP.
Okay, oh, it's the MTRP.
Yes, sir. Based on this alleged.
Okay,
offense.
it's the MTRP. Okay. What, do you know when the MTRP is set?
I believe it was January something. I'm not.
Okay, we
sure
need
the
to
exact
check.
date. It was sometime in January.
Okay, we'll check and we'll reset this case on the same day with the felony MTRP.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, hold on a minute. John Edward Toots,
They do.
all right. This is cause number 24 CCCR 1202, case of style of state of Texas versus John Edward Toots. Mr. Toots, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Toots, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Toots, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Toots, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Toots?
How are you? I'm good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Toots, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. Just a little tired. Thank you for asking.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Mr. Toots' case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Toots, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Toots, it alleges that you, John Edward Toots, on or about April 5th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, bodily injury. Mr. Toots, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Toots, this assault, bodily injury, as family violence. Now, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Toots, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Toots, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. This document is on my tablet. And in this, now, this document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The boxes that are checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. The first box checked states that you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving or giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I also have another document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Mr. Toots, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, Your Honor.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Toots, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State offer states one.
Any
Okay.
objections? No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Now, if I forgot to ask you, Mr. Wilkerson, are you waiving a record in this case?
You did ask that, Your Honor, yes, and there's no reason to believe that he is not.
Okay. Now, Mr. Toots, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Toots, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 123 days in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 123 days in tax and retirement.
Mr. Toots, state is offering that you serve 123 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 123 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Toots, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
And do you think that, and do you understand? And do you think that is fair and just?
that is awesome. I like it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Toots, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Toots, if you do not have nothing else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Now, Mr. Toots, before you stand next to the bailiff and follow her directions, I need to give you some directions. I have a document here that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess Firearm or Ammunition. I'm going to go over this document with you. In accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order of judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, A, firearm means any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, Mr. Toops, the written admonition that you have, that's for your records.
All right.
As I mentioned earlier, if you do not have anything else on you in jail, you'll be getting out of jail today.
Right.
Please stand next to the bailiff, follow her direction. Once you finish following her direction, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Wilkinson, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor, you as well.
Okay, thank you.
We get some rest.
What's the name?
I'm sorry.
That he has a couple of dates, or that he has a felony setting in January. If he-
January 13th?
Yes, Your Honor. If he is not bench warranted on that date, then the state will likely dismiss the misdemeanor.
Okay, so it's gonna be reset.
Hey, Judge, those two people that are under the trial, I'm gonna bring them back next Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, this is, okay, so this will conclude the calling of the court's jail run docket on today's date, December 5th, 2024, in County Court at Law No. 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Prosecutors, you are excused.
Thank you.
And everyone, please have a blessed day.